President Obama's choice to sit on the Supreme Court goes to Capitol Hill. The president made it official yesterday. He is nominating Judge Merrick Garland to fill the seat left vacant by Judge Antonin Scalia's death. But congressional Republicans say they have no intention on taking any action when it comes to confirming Garland. In fact, Mitch McConnell was pretty definitive about it yesterday. Joining us now, constitutional law expert Rod Sullivan, back here on The Morning Show. Good to have you here. Despite the Republican rhetoric, does the Senate have a constitutional responsibility to go ahead and secure a nominee?
No, they really don't. Their obligation is to advise and consent the president, and by basically not bringing it up for a vote, they are advising and consenting, and their advice is that we're not going to consider this in an election year, that if we're going to consider it at all, it's going to be after November.
Aren't they playing a game of roulette? Because if Hillary Clinton were to win the White House, she would probably nominate somebody who is a little further left than the Republicans would like.
That's true, and that's why if Hillary Clinton wins the election, it's likely, I think, the Senate will change its mind and will hold confirmation hearings on Merrick Garland. So he might still become the Supreme Court justice, and it all sort of weighs on how the presidential election comes out.
Now, there are a lot of people who sit back and say that President Obama made a very smart choice in trying to get the Republican establishment to sit back and say, okay, maybe we have to reconsider here, because they say that Garland is the kind of nominee who, under other circumstances, they would likely confer.
Well, that's true, but by the same token, we need to accept the fact that Merrick Garland is, according to the Washington establishment, slightly left of center, which means, according to the North Florida, analysis, he's pretty left of center. And if he becomes a Supreme Court justice, this would be the most liberal court that the United States has had in over 50 years. So, I think that the fact is that he is a smart individual, has been on the court a long time. We have to take into account the fact that his leaning tends to be more in favor of the government, more against state rights, for example, and things of that nature.
How does this play out on the campaign trail?
I don't know that it does play. I'll tell you how it will play out on the campaign trail is if the Republicans cave and do take Garland as a Supreme Court justice. I think that there'd be almost a virtual revolution among those people who are Trump supporters, those people who are Tea Party supporters, and the more right-wing portion of the Republican Party.
This nomination and others that are going to come down the pike, because I think whoever's sitting in the White House for the next 4 years is going to have as many as 2 other nominations to deal with. It is going to shape the court for years to come.
There's no question about it. The court is in a very precarious balance right now. There are 4 solid liberal votes. There are 3 solid conservative votes, and there's Justice Kennedy, who swings back and forth. If you put a 5th solid liberal vote, this court will become a very liberal court for, the rest of my life anyway.
How do you see the court shaping up in the near future?
Well, I mean,
if you were a betting man.
My bet would be that the Republicans will probably win the presidency, and that whoever the president is will probably get a chance to appoint another justice, and the court will then become a 4-4-1 court like it has been with Justice Scalia, and Justice Kennedy would again be in his powerful position to decide most social issues.
Time will certainly tell. Rod Sullivan, appreciate it. Thank you very much.